Hey guys, Zach King here with a Motion 3 tutorial. Yes, this is not for Motion 2, this is only something that is compatible with Motion 3 because I'm going to do a camera. Basically, I'm going to set up photos in a row, in a line, and have the camera zoom past them at a decently slower rate. Kind of a neat effect. It's a little more advanced, but I want to show you guys how to do it. So, grab a new camera up here. And I have my 3D grid on, but you can't see it. So what I'm going to have to do is use this rotation tool a little bit and move it up a tiny bit. I just adjusted a little bit so I could see my 3D grid. So I'm going to grab a couple photos. I think I'm going to do 4 photos today. And I'm going to set this up in a line starting about right here. It's fine. I'm going to do the same photo. I'm going to move them back behind it, and if you can't see what you're doing, grab your camera and turn the rotation tool and zoom out, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just use this camera as a tool to see what's going on. I could also do this by changing my perspective and then moving that around, but too late. So I'm going to move this around, move it back, and I'm just going to line these photos up. I'm copying and pasting them now behind each other. I'm going to paste one more there and move it all the way back there. So now I have 4 photos in a line on my grid. It helps me see how they're lined up. I'm going to move my rotation back, and what I want to do is just make sure these are all lined up behind this photo for now, and just tuck them back there so that they're almost following this blue line. So now that I have my rotation, or then I have that all set up, I'm going to get my framing right. And if you hit F, once your camera's selected, it'll actually take you to your basic like overview of the project. And so it kind of frames you up nice. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and make sure I have my camera selected. And so that's framed up pretty well. I'm just going to rotate down a little so I'm parallel with it, line it up. And now what I'm going to do is start recording. So I'm going to keep my first frame here in the beginning, and I'm going to pull it. I'm in the 600 frame project. I'm going to do it maybe halfway. I can always rearrange the keyframing after. So I'm going to have it rotate. By the end, it's going to be rotated, and it's going to be down the entire line of the photos. I just have to zoom down here. Don't worry if your photos aren't lined up correctly. Right now, it's not a big deal. Okay, so that's far enough, and that's where I'm going to end because I realized my photos aren't spaced correctly or well enough. So I'm going to stop recording and now rearrange the position of my photos and see where the camera goes. So here, like this photo, should definitely be a lot closer here. It's going to come past here, and then that last photo is very far away. Move it forward. Use this green line to bring it around, and here we are. So that's where it's going to end. One sec. Let me see how this is going. Okay, so there we are. Bring this up. Right. It just takes a little adjustment to move it where you guys need it. Okay, so it starts here, and let me just play it and see how it looks. It's playing, it goes through that photo, it's going through there, looking at that, and there. That was really fast. So what I'm going to do is Command 8, keyframe editor, hit your camera, and you can see the keyframes for all those. And you can select all of them here, and what we're going to do is just drag them out. I'm not going to try to ruin the position of where they were. I just want it to be longer to slower, or have it all be a lot more spread out. So I basically changed the timing just now, And if we play it again, it'll be a lot slower. You go through that photo, you see another photo here. I kind of want to adjust this. Make sure you're not recording when you're adjusting your photos, because that'll really mess it up. So if it goes through here, we see another photo. Our last photo, need to see it a little longer. Tilt it this way. Okay, and then it stops. And let's just say I wanted something behind that photo, like a logo or a text. So we come through all these photos, and maybe I don't want to end on that photo. What I want to do is hit my keyframe editor again in camera and find the position for which photo that is. And you can see how these correlate. This is the, if you move it around, you can say this is the rotation tool. This is, the blue one is the position. So I'm actually going to move that back, or lower. I'm going to pull it out and move it lower so that it passes by the end. And now you can see we're all framed up, and let's play it and see how this looks. And you know, at the end, I'm going to add a text here that says logo goes here, or how about this, text goes here. And I'm going to drag that text out so it's been there for a good portion of the project, so it appears right behind it. So you can see my arrow, and turn the HUD off so you can see what's going on. Let me scroll through one photo, hit past it, next photo, that photo, that photo, and then behind it is text goes here. And I can turn on my HUD and make the size a little bigger, just so. Final Cut King. And there, and as you, okay, did you see that pop? You can see where my text box is, but my text actually isn't there yet. So that means I need to expand my text a lot further. And you can see there it is. I can even tuck it away a little bit further so it doesn't show up as soon. And what I could even do is go add something fancy like add behavior, fade, blur, fade in. And you can see this fade in. We'll go over this in another tutorial, but there we go. It fades in, and make sure this is all behind all your photos. Drag that final in the motion in the tabs, layers, and you can see it fades in then. So that's a little effect. I could even have it fade in here, so bring this back. Bring my fade. That was the wrong order of doing things, but my fade would go over here. So I'd say fade it in right there. Grab my text, bring it back. I'm sorry, I don't want to get into this in this tutorial, but that's how you would do that right there. And in another tutorial, I want to show you how, basically, if you see my tutorial on how to add reflections, you can add reflections to all these photos by adding the image mask and the rectangle and then the other gradients. But you can figure that out, or in another tutorial I'll show you how. So basically that would add an effect of having it reflect on like a glass floor. It would look like the camera and all the photos are standing on a glass floor. So that's the tutorial on that, and how to line up 4 or 5 photos. I mean, you can do this with an infinite amount of photos, but I just wanted to show you one way of doing that, and kind of another advanced tutorial of your camera. So I hope that helps, and I might post this on my website as a template that you can download, and I can make these drop boxes where you can drop your own images in there. I'll see you guys later.